I know in previous videos I mentioned that Prince never attended parties with Diddy. Based on what Jason Lee confirmed, it appears that Prince simply allowed Diddy to use his home for hosting events.
First Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the.
But here's the thing, during the trial, we found out that Prince actually did hang out with Diddy at parties. And not just in a brief, passing way, they were genuinely part of the same circles. Diddy even reportedly once said that Prince showed up to his birthday party in pajamas. On top of that, people are now suggesting we should take a closer look at what Sinead O'Connor said about Prince, because some of it is starting to sound eerily similar to the concerns being raised about Diddy.
Wrote that song. Yeah. Did you ever actually meet Prince?
We did meet once, but we didn't get on very well. We tried to beat each other up.
Really?
We didn't get on too well.
You tried to beat each other up?
Well, it was more he tried to beat me up and I was defending myself. But
no.
Why?
Because
Hang on, that doesn't sound like a joke. That sounds serious.
Oh, it's not a joke, no. It's not a joke at all. It was a very frightening experience.
Okay, so I know I've said in previous videos that Prince never really partied with Diddy, and that according to what Jason Lee confirmed, he only lent his home to Diddy for events. But now, based on information that came out during the trial, it turns out that Prince and Diddy did spend time together at parties. And not just in a quick hello-goodbye kind of way. They were clearly part of the same social circles. Diddy even reportedly once said that Prince showed up at his birthday party wearing pajamas. What's more, people are starting to take a second look at what Sinead O'Connor said about Prince. And honestly, some of those stories are beginning to feel unsettlingly similar to what's being said about Diddy now. Now hold on, Purple Army. Before you jump in the comments, just hear me out. We all know Prince was a musical genius, an icon, a trendsetter. Nobody is denying that. But when we take a step back from the artistry and look at the full picture, things start to look more complicated. And Sinead wasn't the only one. There have been quiet stories and whispers over the years. But because Prince was mysterious, beloved, and seen as untouchable, many of those allegations seem to get brushed aside. So here's the question. Have we misunderstood Prince all this time? Are the things people are now saying about him eerily similar to what's being said about Diddy? The fact that it's now been confirmed Prince and Diddy did hang out has people questioning the nature of their relationship. What kind of friendship did they really have? And once you start connecting the dots, can we really ignore the pattern? I'll be diving into all the details, because this Prince-Diddy story is definitely going in a direction no one expected. So how did we find out that Prince and Diddy actually spent time together? Well, during the trial, a former assistant to Diddy testified under the pseudonym Mia. She said she worked for Diddy from 2009 to 2017, and her time there overlapped with Cassie's. According to her, Diddy controlled almost every aspect of Cassie's life, her schedule, appearance, and career. Mia said part of her job was to monitor Cassie, and that they eventually became close like sisters. But anytime they did something without Diddy's permission, the consequences were unpredictable and frightening. She also described a 2010 party at Prince's house. According to her, she and Cassie decided to go to the event after being told Diddy would be spending the night with his kids. They were having fun watching Prince perform, and then Diddy showed up unexpectedly. She said both of them tried to run, but Diddy followed and eventually found Cassie after she fell in the bushes outside Prince's home. That's when, according to Mia, Prince's security had to step in and break things up. The next day, Mia said the head of HR told her that Diddy was suspending her without pay for attending Prince's party with Cassie. A reminder that HR often prioritizes the company's interests. Now, here's what people are asking. Why did Prince's security intervene that night? Was it because Prince told them to protect Cassie? Or was it simply because he didn't want a public scene at his event? Some believe Prince genuinely cared. Others point to past stories, like those from Sinead O'Connor, and argue that maybe it was more about image than concern. Let's talk about Sinead's account. She skyrocketed to global fame in 1990 with her version of Nothing Compares to You, a song Prince wrote in 1985 for his side project, The Family. Her version was iconic, raw, and emotional. Prince publicly praised her performance at the time, but years later, Sinead shared a much darker behind-the-scenes story. She said Prince was actually angry about her success and invited her to his home to confront her. According to Sinead, Prince didn't like people covering his songs and was frustrated that she wasn't one of his proteges. Plus, her manager had also previously worked with Prince and was involved in a legal dispute with him, adding even more tension. Sinead claimed that during that visit, she was pressured to eat something she didn't want, was challenged to a pillow fight that turned aggressive, and was later physically blocked from leaving the house. She said she eventually fled on foot and rang a neighbor's doorbell for help. She described Prince as an extraordinary artist, but also someone who had a very dark side. And she suggested that there were other women with similar stories who just hadn't spoken out publicly.
I'm not the only woman that he had a go at. There are plenty of women out there, if they're prepared to come out and admit that he had one of the girls in his band was in hospital with broken ribs for a very long time. I know other girls have gone out with him, but
some women have actually backed up what Sinead O'Connor said about Prince. For example, Charlene Friend, an ex-girlfriend, filed a lawsuit claiming that Prince harmed her both physically and emotionally during their 2-year relationship. She alleged that he recorded their private moments without her consent, made disturbing threats after they broke up, insisted she call him Messiah, and hosted parties with strange, themed rooms, including cages, chains, and other unsettling setups. She also said he would force her to watch videos of him with other women, and once even neglected her child. And she's not the only one. A while back, a group of Prince's former partners came forward with their own stories in a 9-hour documentary that reportedly included disturbing allegations. Though Prince's estate fought hard to block its release, some details have surfaced, and they are deeply concerning. The documentary reportedly features interviews with multiple ex-lovers, including Jill Jones, who recalled an incident from 1984. She said she and a friend visited Prince at a hotel, and after he kissed her friend, she slapped him. According to her, he responded by saying, "This isn't a movie," and then allegedly started hitting her in the face repeatedly. Jill said she didn't press charges because his manager told her it would ruin his career, and because she still cared for him, she stayed for years afterward. Another former partner, Susanna Melvoin, claimed Prince monitored her phone calls and discouraged her from going out after she moved in with him, a sign of controlling behavior. Then there's the story of Prince's ex-wife, Mate Garcia. She was reportedly just 16 and living in Germany when her mother submitted a video of her belly dancing to Prince. After seeing it, he invited her backstage at one of his concerts. A year later, Garcia was living with Prince at Paisley Park in Minnesota, where he became her legal guardian with her parents' approval. Eventually, their relationship turned romantic. According to Garcia, Prince told her it was time for her to start using birth control, which marked the beginning of their intimate relationship. The documentary also reportedly includes accounts from Prince's former collaborators, like members of The Revolution. Lissa Coleman remembered how Prince reacted when the band asked for better pay, telling them that if they really loved him, they wouldn't ask. When some members threatened to leave, he called their bluff, and the group disbanded in 1986. So here's what people are starting to ask. Are we uncomfortable holding certain legends accountable? Do we separate the artist from the art too easily when we love their work? Because if we're willing to call out Diddy for his alleged treatment of women, shouldn't we also take a closer look at what Sinead and others said about Prince? Especially now, knowing that Prince and Diddy weren't just acquaintances. They spent time together in the same circles, attended the same private events, and were seen at the same parties. Was it just music and fame that brought them together, or was there something else connecting them? Both men have faced serious accusations. Both have had lawsuits, documentaries, and exposes either buried, settled, or blocked. And both managed to maintain largely untarnished public images for years. So at what point do we stop calling this a coincidence and start calling it a culture? To be clear, no one is saying Prince and Diddy were exactly the same, but people are starting to notice a pattern. If we're shining a light on one, maybe it's time to look at the other two. What do you think? Are we seeing a reflection of something much darker that's been hiding in plain sight? And what kind of friendship did Prince and Diddy really have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.